Okay, hopefully we're live. Good evening. It is the 7th of September 2024 and hopefully you can see and hear me. Please let me know if you can. Hopefully you can. And hopefully the volume is okay. Let me know if the volume is okay and it's all in sync and all that kind of stuff. And you can actually see me. I'll just wait for the chat to catch up. There is somewhat of a delay on the chat for some reason tonight. It all works, Mike. Excellent. I've got the microphone turned right up. I've got my new microphone on tonight. Well, not a new one, but a different one. So maybe it sounds a little bit different. All good, Mike. No issues. Thanks, Rick. Excellent stuff. Good to see you all in the chat. Loud and clear. Good, good. Visuals are good, and I'm catching you loud and clear. Truck fan says. Excellent stuff. Dave Aiken says, warm glow tonight. Been sitting too close to that fire. I've just been lifting too many things and moving stuff around, trying to get things ready. It's actually quite warm in here tonight. Actually, it's very humid. It's like 70% humidity, which is really hot for the UK, and especially for this room. Normally it's about 50%. And actually, I just realised I've got the amber light on as well, which is probably not helping matters with the colour balance. That might be better. We'll see. Nice to have some fresh air coming in. Cav's got the window open. Excellent stuff. And there we go. Chris Flex 69 says, can I ruin my motherboard by daisy chaining on RGB? Yes, it's very possible. If you overload ports, then yes, things can be bad. 3 or 4 fans is about the most I would daisy chain on a motherboard these days. You can do more. I have in the past done 6, but it isn't recommended. O'Reilly says, yes, better colour balance with the amber light off. Yeah, there's so many different lighting sources in this room, it's ridiculous. Like that is, well, I'm not even sure what white that is nowadays. It's not as white as it used to be. I probably need to change that or get rid of it. But it's quite nice because it gives off a little bit of subtle light on the side. So if you see the side of my face there, if I turn it off, it does make quite a big difference, I think, personally. Let me know what you think in the comments. Kath thinks it looks better without. Okay. Is it better with or better without? Rasher says it was so hot yesterday, about 38°C in the sun. Had to go shirtless when working. It's been freezing and wet here in the UK.
Where is he? Scotland?
Rasher's in Ireland.
Oh yeah, of course. Scotland was hot yesterday.
O'Reilly says keep it on. Charles says turn it on with, says, a good profile light, Mike. Okay. It's oh no, that's the battery powered one. There we go. It's USB powered, so the USB's right anyway. Nick Barnes says, have you swapped the PC on Kallax? Friday's video was definitely a different PC. Yes, Friday's video, which actually has done really well, so thanks for everyone who's watched that. That was actually George's PC, the Corsair 4000D. So that was the reason. I was trying to get that ready to sell, and I was checking on the Windows licensing, which then led me down the path of looking for that particular site, which was, I can't remember it now. Massgrave, was it? Yeah, Massgrave. Anyway, links are in there. Sorry?
Zeno.
Yeah, and thanks to Zeno, or how did you say I've got to pronounce it? Xenomorph, or whatever.
Neomorph.
Xenoneomorph, or whatever it is. I can never get it right. I'll just call it Zeno. That's fine.
You said Zeno on the video.
That's good. Zeno, whatever. It's all the same thing. Let's make sure the overhead's working. No, that looks very dark. What's going on with that? Oh, God. Where's my mouse? Obspot 4K. Deactivate, activate. Why is that not working? Oh, stroof. There's always something in there. Why is that not working? Right, I've got no idea why that's not working. Bear with me a second. I will do what most of us do is, have you tried to turn it off and turn it back on again? Boot it up. Put it into preset number 1. Hello, McFly. There we go. I think that's working now. Let's try that. Where are we going? Over camera? No. Oh, what is going on? Obspot 4K. I really do need that one to work. Spot auto sleep now. Device is sleeping. Resume. What is going on? Sorry about this. Right, video preview. Let's go to Obspot. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh dear. Right, bear with me.
Can't even believe the cat's chewing the wires on that well.
No, I can't. Right, I've got no idea why that's not working, and that is going to be particularly difficult because I need that overhead camera to, yeah, so you can see what I'm actually doing in the stream. This is definitely a blooper. Aletta said the overhead camera ate a box of donuts and went into a sugar coma. I think it's done something along those lines. Have I not plugged it back into the correct port? That could be the reason why. I have disconnected this, as some of you already know, because I changed the PC out. And I have noticed with some of these cameras that they don't like being plugged into the wrong ports. Let's try that. Did that work?
That fly from last week killed it.
It was the fly. Oh, actually.
Who set 2 flies today? It might have been the one from last week.
Is that USB 2 or is that USB 3? That could be the problem. Let's have a torch. Usual chaos here. I believe that is in the wrong USB port, so let's put it in a super speed port and we'll see how that works. Ah, the joys of live streaming. I knew I should have tried it. But we do smile about it. Right, position number 1. Let's see if this works now. Actually, let's try overhead. No, you swine!
Oh, sorry, Flamey.
Right, I've got no idea what is going on. Right, I'm going to... Right, there we go. We're back, sort of. So custom, 4K, highest FPS, okay, there we go. That's better. We'll get there in the end.
Push the PC back on the shelf, Mike.
Good idea. Who suggested that?
Andy Archer. And Mark says, hi Mike, hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for the videos, just done my first AM5 build from watching you and used Thermaltake heat spreader on the board.
Ah, nice one. Thermalright. Or whichever. Good stuff. Alright, back to the main camera. It's working, I think.
And Simon Feezy says it wouldn't be Mike's unboxing if it had working cameras.
Skystalker says the mouse pad is upside down, not good. We can rectify that. Sorry, what was that? What did you say, Kath?
Simon Feezy, it wouldn't be Mike's unboxing if the cameras worked first try.
There we go, that's working. Although it looks a little bit pissed. So we need to go over that way a little. There we go, that'll do. That'll do me. How are we all doing? Enjoying your weekend? Oh dear, getting a sweat on already in here. 23.2 degrees Celsius, 70-degree humidity, not very nice indeed. It has been absolutely persisting down basically for the last week, give or take. Hopefully,
Zeno's in the chat.
hi Zeno. Xenomorph. Neomorph. I get the name wrong all the time. I'll just say Zeno or Zeno. Whatever it is. Skystalker says, lol, my ADD is satisfied. There we go.
Charles Ballard, where did you get that nice mat?
This mouse mat came from the legend that is William Bodie. sent all the way from Germany. Although you can actually get this on Amazon, it is available.
Or you could have it reprinted on the ones that you have.
Yeah, but you'd have to have the image, wouldn't you?
Aye.
It's a copyrighted image
Yeah.
because it's Disney. Well, Lucasfilm. So yes, it is available on Amazon. Just type in Mandalorian mouse mat on Amazon, you'll find it. If Kath gets around to it at any point, we'll try and put a link in, but if not, don't worry. We won't get a lot back of commission anyway from Amazon because they're swines.
I don't know how to spell Mandalorian or...
Mike's name is now Scotty the Miracle Worker. Oh, God. It's been a weird day, a weird week actually. Very strange. So hello to all of you in the chat: Skystalker, Andy Archer, Truck Fan, Charles Ballard, Arali, Dutch Jan. Thank you for the super chats that came in already as well. You lovely, lovely people. See if I can find them. Yeah, there we go. Mick Woods came in there with a super chat. Says hi, Mike, Kath, and all in Mud World.
I can't do that when I'm doing links that you've told me to do.
Sorry, I forgot. I haven't got my keyboard either. I knew there was something I was missing. Unplug and switch on. He says, I wish the keyboard on-off switch was in a better place, a little bit more accessible. I might have to swap this one out. I do like it, but I might have to swap it out. Is that going to work? Yes, thank you very much. And I can press escape. There we go. Yeah, hi Mike, Kath, and all Mud World. Looking forward to a few cool bottles of Peroni and another great live stream. Thank you very much, Mick. Much appreciated, sir. And Rick H also come in there with a $5 super chat. Disco. Picking up where Bob left off. Still not heard back from Bob. I'm a little bit worried, I've got to be honest with you. He said he would be back Thursday or Friday last week. And yeah, still nothing. So the mysterious Bob is still incognito somewhere.
I can't find that mice one.
Nick Barnes says, the mud beanie, much in need the last couple of days. Yeah, it's been bloody awful. Horrendous weather. Absolutely horrendous.
It's not temperature-wise, it's all right.
Temperature-wise is all right. Yes, it's dark and wet.
Wet and horrible.
He says, choking.
I can't find it in America.
Paul Lamont says, has his CPU hit Warp 7? I'm certainly hoping not. Yeah, hello to Zero Defects, Jason Woods, how you doing, Jason? William Bodie, Carl G, Aletta, how you doing, Aletta? How's the old kneecaps getting on? Atomic Subs in as well, says hi. Rick Welly Bob, Charles Ballard.
That's not Mando, that's Boba Fett.
Boba Fett it is.
Is that the
Yeah.
one I should be searching for then?
Try the Mandalorian, that's probably what I would
can't
search
find
for.
it.
Alright,
Not in America.
okay, don't worry. It's fine. Someone's having a party in one of the back gardens, I think, but one of the neighbours. Don't know if you can pick up the music. Can you hear that? You have to let me know. I don't want to get a copyright strike. Riley says, no, I can't hear it. Sounds like a bit of a 70s disco thing going on. Can you get closer to the party? I probably could. Report them. Zeno says I can. I'll stand by the window, you'll probably be able to hear it clear as day. Clear as day, he says. There you go. I was standing by the window then. Can you hear it then? Do we get a prize for naming the tune? Maybe, yeah. Truck Fan says disco detected. O'Reilly says nope. Skystalker, nope. I'll name that tune in 3.
Let's play Dusty Bin instead. Never understood that. You thought it was because you were a kid, wasn't it, when you watched Dusty Bin? But then we watched it as an adult and it was even more confusing.
Right,
Any bloopers this week?
Any bloopers this week? Yeah, there's been lots of bloopers. Lots of things go wrong on a daily basis. Where do I start? Normally falling off of things, falling off of chairs. I've got a gaming chair, which you probably don't see this much, but if I aim the camera up, you'll see that all around. Now, if you're watching this now, beware, I am going to move the camera, so you may get a bit of motion sickness, all right? So here we go, 3, 2, 1. So, got shelves there, and got shelves up there, and got shelves over there, and shelves over there. So there's lots of stuff hidden away out of sight for the camera. Just put you back down there. And yeah, quite often when I'm trying to do anything at all, the chairs that I need are over there under the table, because this is basically a dining table, effectively. So
Mike's lazy.
I'm lazy, so rather than get one of those chairs and fight my way past the other chair, I just use one of the gaming chairs, which obviously tilt and rotate and spin. So I'm there kind of perching myself, trying not to spin off at an awkward angle. Riley says, Mike, that is not enough shelving. I know, I could do with more, to be fair. Zero Defect says, is that real brick? No. That is not real brick. It's real, yeah, real brick on a roll.
Oasis.
Underneath the red brick, the white brick from previous videos is still under there. Underneath that is lining paper, which is still there from when the room was a dining room, because I'm too lazy to remove it. So Zero Defect says it looks good on camera. Yeah, I need a step ladder really, but I would have nowhere to put it. I'd have to hang it on the wall when I'm not using it, which is kind of defeats the object. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad it looks good on camera. It's okay. It's I want to change it back really to the white brick, because it made the whole room a little bit lighter. But anyway, we will see. So today's stream, we're going to be taking a look at my PC. This is my own video editing PC. Now, anyone who's a little bit squeamish, you may want to look away, because I haven't cleaned it in probably, I'm trying to think when I actually put it all together, probably a good 6 months or more. And we've had recent building work and all that kind of stuff going on. So there's going to be kind of brick dust, dust bunnies, all that kind of stuff in there. From a glance, it looks okay. But up close, there's probably going to be, yeah, some grime in there. So I'm just warning you now, I might actually give it a little bit of a wipe down before we get started, because it does feel a bit sticky as well. Because literally our kitchen is over there, and we've got an air fryer, and that's on pretty much all the time. And you get the dust, and you get then the grease from the air fryer, it vents, and yeah, it's not good.
And cat fur.
Ricky says, I'm good with dirt, Mike. Good. It's got, yeah, cat hair. There's definitely going to be some cat hair in there.
You can make a whole wig out of it. Multicoloured, tabby ginger wig.
Sadiq Wali says, Mike, you're a great influencer. Thank you very much. I don't really think of myself as an influencer. I'm just a guy on YouTube who makes videos for boredom's sake and to hopefully help people. I don't think of myself as an influencer at all. But thank you anyway. It's very kind of you. Cool Cat says, hello, Mike and Kathy. She hates being called Kathy.
I don't really care anymore. You make more of a deal of it.
She doesn't care. Okay, that's fine.
I don't really care.
James Miscellaneous, how you doing? My influences are good health. Good for you. Why is James not got a blue spanner? Sort that out. Add as a moderator. There we go. Not sure why that hadn't been done previously. James is also a YouTuber, so please go and check out his channel, James Miscellaneous. Look it up on YouTube. Many things will be of interest to you, especially here in audio, especially Realtek audio. James has got a real thing about that. Rick says, get your PC out, lob it on the table. Cool. Cool Cat says, I think of Mike as a West Country Dr. Evil.
You want the truck fan, because he keeps putting that.
Truck fan, no. And if you keep on posting stuff like that, you will get blocked or banned. Reverse vending machines are not a thing in the UK at all, ever. And being that most of our audience is from the UK, you're not going to have anybody who knows what it is. Right, so anyway, my PC. So my PC, I've been very lucky. MSI, for some bizarre reason, when I was doing some reviews of some motherboards, they asked me to do some testing with my B760 Tomahawk motherboard, which was an Intel board, which at the time I was running my 13500 on it. And they asked if I would like to make some content to see if a 13900K would run suitably well on it, which I said, well, I haven't got a 13900K to do that. They're like, oh, we can send you one. So like, oh, okay, that'd be great. So they sent one. I made the video to see if it performed well or underperformed or whatever. And I said, well, I've done the video. Do you want the processor back? And they're like, no, it's right, you keep hold of it. So, oh, right, okay. Now, we don't take sponsorships as such. If somebody wants to give us something, obviously we're going to accept it. So that is how I managed to get this processor. I didn't pay for it. It was basically gifted for us doing some work that they basically probably didn't want to do. So rather than get their engineers or someone else to do a sponsored piece for it for however many thousands of pounds that costs, they gave me a processor. So yeah, I was very happy with that. Now obviously since then there's been a lot of stuff in the media about the 12th, 13th and 14th gen LGA 1700 socket with it bending after time. Now I was of the opinion that if you had a 700 series motherboard, you probably wouldn't be as affected as the 600 series. The 600 series boards in general were of a lesser quality and quite often had less layers of PCB. Sorry, there's a fly. And the 700 series boards seem to be a little bit thicker. So possibly not having so much of a bending thing going on because of the pressure on it. Now, recently I've noticed my temperatures have been slowly creeping up and I can't really put a finger on it. There has been numerous BIOS updates I've done, and I did notice that after one of those there was a slight increase. I then rolled back and it still seems that increase is still there. So whether this is part of the microcode for the processor, for the platform itself, I'm not entirely sure, but I've noticed that the temperatures in the room have been going down slightly, because obviously it's getting slightly autumnal here rather than being spring or summer, but the temps aren't seeming to come down. So I wanted to do a repaste of the cooler anyway, but I also have a mounting frame, which actually I'm pretty sure this was sent by Rick H. A long time ago, and we actually did a video on it, which actually when I installed this the first time round, it caused me more problems than not because I over tightened it. But as I said in the video, there's no actual instructions. Basically the instructions are on the back of the box. It just says tighten the screws. Now, since then, we all know that there's certain kind of tensions or torques that this should be set at. So yeah, maybe I've got a lesson to learn. Hopefully I've learned it, and we'll find out a little bit later on if this thing actually works and posts after I've put it in. So that is the kind of the background of it. Yes, Kath?
Sadiq, I bought a few components already by watching your videos, but lack confidence to build a PC by myself.
Right, if you lack the confidence to build a PC by yourself, that is what our Discord is for. And the links are actually working now. I've been having nothing but problems with the Stream Deck. Not that it's the new one that Colin sent us, much appreciated Colin. For some reason, every time I reset the computer or turn the computer off and turn it back on again, it disassociates my YouTube account. So when I try and press the buttons to make it do something actually in YouTube, it doesn't work. Most frustrating. Not sure why it is, but no doubt I'll get to the end of it. So I have to export all of my settings to a file, fire up YouTube, and then re-import all of my settings via the Stream Deck app, which is an absolute abomination. So I have no idea what's going on. I'm probably going to wipe it and start again. Yes, Kath?
Tony Beckett.
Tony Beckett. What is the motherboard you would recommend with a 12600K? Ooh, that is a good question. I would probably go with the MSI board, probably MSI either the, well actually yeah, like I said earlier, the B760 Tomahawk is a good shout. If you want to spend a little bit more money with possibly the view to upgrading in the future, then possibly the Tough Gaming Wi-Fi from ASUS, which is what I actually use in my rig now. I use the BTF version, but there is a regular version as well if you want to do that. Or if you want a BTF version, you've got a case that supports it, then it's a really, really good board. I love it, it's fantastic. I just wish it was in black for reasons which will become apparent later on when I talk about it. AJ Haverkamp says, is it me, but audio and video are not perfectly in sync? That is very possible. That is extremely possible. I did notice that on actually one of my my videos. It might have been last week's stream. I rewatched it and I did notice some of it was out of sync.
Yeah, it is.
How much?
Go and watch it.
Is the audio behind or is it in front?
I can't tell.
No, I'm asking them really. Sky Stalker says all in sync here. Ceres D5 says it's synced here.
Maybe a refresh there. Since you did all the stuff on it.
We'll see. Cool Cat, yeah, try because I had to reset the stream earlier. So if you watch from the beginning or earlier on, maybe close the window and reopen it again. That might be why. Behind, well, the audio's behind very slightly. To the middle. All good my end. All in sync.
Or just mute it and
It's
all in
weird.
sync.
Yeah, if you mute it, it's fine.
That's how I watch it.
Lip sync was off until I changed YouTube from auto to 1080p. Well, there you go.
YouTube again.
So yeah, it looks like it's a YouTube thing. Sorry. James Miscellaneous says it looks perfect here. Thank you. AJ Haverkamp says I just joined iPad YouTube app. Maybe it's the iPad app. Maybe try in a browser and see what happens then. Dave Starbucks says 5x5 here. Thank you, Dave. Shiny Helmet says no problems here. William Bodie says audio and video in sync here. I think it's an app. Andy Archer says it's wandering in and out. Okay.
Is that the kitten?
Weird. Weird stuff. Slightly out here too. All right. Is this better if I do this so you can't actually see my lips moving, so you can just get the general gist of what I'm doing? It's like less off-putting. Oh dear. Sorry. Right, we'll just go with it. So, who wants to see my PC? Nobody. No one's interested. Fair enough. Dave Starbucks says, thanks for having me. You're very welcome. Maybe put your mask back on, Andy Archer says. If only. Let's pretend it's 2020 and wear a mask, lol. Shiny Helmet says. Yeah, God, I'm glad those days are off. Right, I'm going to take the glass side panel off my PC to begin with, because that's clearly not necessary, and also it's one of the dirtiest things in the PC. Actually, I'm going to unplug my Wi-Fi antenna as well, because there's no need for that. Ugh. So there you go, there is my PC. Hopefully you can see it, it's not too obscured by anything. Well, it is a little bit, isn't it? Let's see, there we go. Hopefully you get the idea. So, obviously I am a man of my word. So if I say that I like something, I generally tend to use it. So you'll see that a lot of the stuff in here is actually Thermaltake stuff, because I do like their stuff, genuinely. And I will get my cleaning equipment out very briefly. Oh, I've lost my microfiber now.
Do you want one?
Yeah, you got one there?
Not here,
I can get one if you want.
This. Slightly down?
Yeah, slightly damp would be good actually.
I've got some on the washing.
This is a bit dirty. It's not too bad. I still haven't changed the AIO, as you can see, so we're still rocking a black pump and black tubes. Andy Archer did actually send some covers to go on them, but they don't quite reach. They're either kind of one end or the other, so I've not gone with this. No. Is it slightly damp?
No.
You didn't bother?
It didn't. Do you want me to wet it up? It was because it was on the washing thing.
That's right. It's
I
fine.
thought it would be.
It's fine.
In this atmosphere.
Yeah, it's quite humid in this atmosphere anyway.
I need another trigger.
I'll get one. Yeah, this PC is a bit grubby. It probably doesn't look it on camera, to be fair, and the camera is actually quite a saving grace when it comes to PC stuff, because it doesn't show up too many of the marks. And obviously you can't feel how kind of, not sticky it is. It's got a little bit of a residue to it. But we have been having some works done on the house. We've got a new wood burner being put in, so there's yeah, there's been like the chimney breast being knocked out and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully this will make it a bit nicer. Really, when you're cleaning a PC, I would probably suggest using, just use some like mild dish soap or detergent like that, if you want to. I'm using something called MMS, but it's chlorine dioxide, so it's got a very slight bleaching effect to it. But it's a kind of a naturally occurring thing. It's not like a generic bleach as such, so don't be too worried. And also the fact that it is white anyway, so that is that's a little bit of a saving grace on this, because it's there's nothing that can actually be bleached as such, other than taking it back to its original colour. It's got a very mild bleach smell to it as well. So if you're kind of like the sort of person that likes that clean smell, then yeah, this is going to be right up your street. Let's give it a wipe. Take out my my 3D printed ASUS BTF GPU support bracket. I did that. I've been doing some more some 3D printing, and I'm not getting on very well with it, I'll be honest with you. I'm really not, which is a little bit of a shame. I thought I was going to be better at it.
Oh, they can see me in the mirror on the AIO.
Oh no.
Rip that off.
I can't rip it off.
Put some gaffer tape on it.
I just moved it a little bit anyway, so they can't see it now.
Nice long hair I've got. It's down to my waist now.
It is down to her waist.
Get it cut.
There, that wasn't intentional, Kath. Can't blame me for that.
I thought it was the mirror on the YouTube thing. Why is it showing in there all of a sudden?
Okay. Anyway, so here is my PC, as we said. So for those of you who don't know what I use for my video editing and daily tasks, so Thermaltake TH280 EX ARGB sink for the all-in-one cooler. I have swapped out the fans though for CT140s. This normally come with black fans, but I put the CT140s in because they're cheap and they work well, and that's what's in the rest of the case. Motherboard is the ASUS Z790 Tough Gaming Wi-Fi BTF edition, so all the connections are on the back. Processor 3900K, as we've said already. Graphics card is a GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super from ASUS again, and that is the tough version, to go with the tough theme in here. Yeah, lovely card, love it. You can still see her. I've got hairs off the cloth now going up my nose. I'll turn it back around a bit. RAM, Thermaltake D5 RAM. As I've said before previously, like, it's nice RAM. It looks great. If you've got a Thermaltake theme going on, get it. But if you want just decent RAM, it's a little bit expensive. I wouldn't recommend going out and buying it, because I don't know why, they just seem to have priced their RAM just absurdly, which is a real shame, because it's actually nice looking RAM. But yeah, if you like the look and you don't mind paying for that, then I guess it's like anything. If you don't mind paying the extra for it, then it is what it is. But yeah, I do love this PC, and when it's all fired up and the RGBs all running, it does look great. I do like it a lot. And oh blimey, on the front, it's still got the stock CT140 fans in there. They come with the Ceres 330 case. Yeah, I didn't see any real need to change them. Although I've got absolutely hundreds and hundreds of fans on the shelves behind me, I haven't bothered changing it out. I was tempted to put in the Swafan 140s, the new EX ARGB sync ones, but to be honest with you, it didn't really seem like much point. And it's just another job that I don't necessarily need to do when time is of the essence. Let's have a quick look. I'll take the front panel off, so you can see what's going on behind there. Now the filter, which is normally in there, I have actually already removed, because I did start cleaning that a little bit earlier, because that's gone into the sink. You see the fans are picking up a bit of brick dust. You see there's a bit of discoloration on the fan tips, the fan blades. So I might give those a little once over. While I've got it out, it's very rare that I move it from where it is. I just use it for working, then maybe a little bit of late night gaming if I get time, and a lot of TV and movie watching. Well, not TV, but like TV shows which have been re-released on Netflix or on Amazon Prime, that sort of stuff.
Lost and lost and lost.
Yeah, what I mean is basically Lost or Breaking Bad. Because I don't really concentrate on it. I put a TV show on whilst I'm answering YouTube questions or trying to figure out something on Discord, or, you know, that sort of usual stuff where if you're leading a slightly busy life, you do end up multitasking a bit and not doing very well at any of it.
Playing. Still on my keyboard, baby.
Something I didn't like about this case is the fact that, being that it came with 140mm fans, and the fact that they put the extra brackets on, so some of it is blocked. I suppose that does give you the flexibility, but to put in something different if you wanted to. But for me, it just seems a little bit of a missed opportunity. I was tempted just to get a grinder or something on it and just snip them off, but I guess it does what it needs to do. It's fine. And like I said, normally this is just on top of my desk, churning away quite quietly, and normally very cool. I'll show you the back if you want to see inside the back. AJ says use a paintbrush. Thing is, if you use a paintbrush, especially on the dust, you just move it around. So in the back of the PC, not much excitement here other than the fact that it is BTF, so things like the chassis fans, the water pump, your power cables, your 600 watt power supply, your EPS cables are all plugged in the back. You've got easy access to your RGB, your audio selection, your front panel connections, all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to use a high power connector if you don't want to. You can use the 3 8 pins if that is appropriate. And thank you for the super chat from the Bronc 9, £5 super sticker. Thank you very much, much appreciated. That is very kind of you. So yeah, that is a basic kind of overview of what my PC is. And as you can see there, we've got our mounting bracket for our CPU cooler, which I've got a sneaking suspicion I didn't actually stick that down. So that could be a little bit of a pain shortly when I do the mounting bracket, when I disconnect it. So let's turn this onto its side. We'll go with the overhead camera and we'll start stripping this down a little bit. And hopefully you can all see that reasonably well. And let's get ourselves a screwdriver. I suppose it would have been a good idea to actually have warmed up the CPU a little bit before doing this, so the thermal paste wasn't stuck. But whatever. I'm actually a little bit hesitant about doing this. AJ Haverkamp says use some tape. I'm not too sure if I did use the tape already on the back, but we'll see. It's alright. If need be, I'll just flip it around and we can have a closer look. I might not need to remove the brackets entirely, so we might be okay. James Messier says the sausage show begins. Swine. Carl G says BRB toilet break. You lucky thing. I remember those. Skystalker says, Mike taught me to use a paintbrush in the PC. It does move the dust and dirt, but it makes it easier to blow out. That is true. Actually, using a paintbrush is a really good thing. And actually, I have got one here, so I could have done that. But the trouble is, especially in this room, and at the moment, there's not a lot of airflow, so it probably would have been all right. In fact, there's no air at all, is there? The air is very still. All right, so let's pull that to one side. Hopefully I've left enough flex on there. Actually, let's clean the bottom up. I'm trying to make it so I don't move the cables around too much, so they kind of fall back into place. Now, There is a lot of thermal paste on there. You can see there is a little bit of a bit in the middle where there isn't a great deal. I'm not sure if you can see that very well. Yeah, actually, yeah, you can. You can see that really well. So yeah, you can see on there that the paste is squished outward, and on the CPU itself, you can see, well, hopefully you can see, it's pretty much bone dry in the middle, and it is there as well. So yeah, I think there has been some squishing going on there. So I'm going to grab some paper towel and give that a little bit of a clean off. Hey John Wick, how you doing? Happy 60th birthday for this week, Mr. Wick. It's quite scary to think that Keanu Reeves is 60. From The Matrix, and John Wick, and other things. Oh, no, Irie Wolfman's a different thing altogether. Irie Wolfman, what's he saying? I can't see there. Irie Wolfman, you need some short PSU cable extensions to replace those long ones. PSU cable? I think they're alright. They're not too bad. Well, I'll have a look at it a minute, see what you mean. AJ Haverkamp says, thermal paste everywhere in 5, 4, 3, 2. No, it wasn't. I was expecting it actually to go alongside of the RAM there. Let's put that somewhere there. Is that going to stay there? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's try and get to the thermal paste actually on the CPU. I suppose that is another thing as well why this is a reasonably good idea, is because by using a contact frame, it does prevent some of the thermal paste going down the side of the CPU, which I don't think it has done a great deal here. But being that there are 1700 pins in there, you probably do want to get as much of them out as you can, or as much of it out as you can, so you don't get it accidentally on any of the pins. Damien. Steve Larkins and Steve, how everyone's doing okay? Yeah, how you doing? Good to see you, Steve. Damien, ever thought of using a cryo sheet instead of paste? I have considered it. I was more thinking about getting some of that PTM 795 or whatever it is, the phase change material from Honeywell. That's supposed to be very good, but it is hella expensive. It's like £20 for a tiny little sheet, which I think is a little bit too much, to be fair.
And around it says, just make it thumb tight so it does not move.
Oh, the frame? Yeah. Okie dokie. Right, so I think I'm pretty sure that we don't need to remove the back plate for the cooler at all. And that is still all absolutely lovely. So yeah, no need to change that. So I will reduce the tension on the CPU now. Ooh, that nearly didn't come up. So we can open that up. Now we can just unscrew those. So I'm going to grab my iFixit kit, I think, for this, because it's got an extension on it. That'll be very handy. And just in case anyone's wondering, no, I am not shilling for iFixit. Skystalker. I'm using the PTM phase change sheets from LTT. Works great. $14.99 USD. That's pretty decent. Right, I'm not entirely sure what size this is, so let's take a guess. Right, first time. So that is, I don't think so. That is a T20. Torx T20. I'm going to slurp my drink. Hey, Ming Man Joe.
Like I dribbled something down my Q link.
Probably cornflakes. Hey Kieran. Yay, Amazon wasted another full day. First was supposed to be 1 PM, then 4 PM, then 6 PM, and now before 10. All this is a damn new hot end for my Neep 4 Pro. Get in there. Right. I'm pretty sure that these, when you undo them, the back plate doesn't actually fall off. So let's take, I am going to have to reuse the screws. I'm pretty sure you reuse the screws anyway. Nick Barnes says, you need a headlight. I do. I've got one, but it keeps on going flat really quickly. Let's try it, see if it's, if I put it on a lower temperature, see how long it lasts. I keep on meaning to charge it up, but I always forget. When it comes to charging USB-C stuff, I'm useless. I always forget. So there we go, there is both parts of our bracket removed. So I'll take the screws out now. And obviously put your original ILM to one side, because there's a strong chance you are going to need it at some point. Or if you maybe sell the board on, or do something with it. I still want to get some of that thermal paste off the side there. That's better. Let's see if we can get into that. Yep, that is much better. Like that a lot. So let's grab our mounting plate. So it does come with some thermal compound. It comes with the Thermalright TF7. Really, I would like to put back in whatever was in there originally, but I'm not too sure what was in there originally. I'm thinking it was probably Hydronaut, but I might use the TF7 anyway. So with the mounting frame, literally just lower it onto the CPU and give it a little wiggle just to make sure that it's firmly in place. You can't put it in the wrong way because it says LJ1700, so if it's facing the wrong way, yeah, you're going to be having bad times. And you don't want those. So now we can put the screws back in. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to drop them into position. And then I'm going to try and do each one of the screws up in a methodical way. Now I'm sure there's going to be people in the chat who are going to give me instructions on what I should be doing. Now the theory is with this, you should have a torque, from what I can recall, which was, I think it was 0.36 Newton meters. Now I don't have a torque screwdriver. I have a torque wrench, but it won't go as low as 0.36. So we are slightly winging it a bit. So, right, there's the click. So do half a turn. And I'm going to do that on each one. It's going to be roughly half a turn, so it's not going to be exact. And then half and half, half and half. And that should be it, because all of those screws now have kind of, they've reached that biting point. So if I just loosen one off a little bit, you can just feel the bite point. And when it just starts biting, or you feel a little bit of resistance, that's basically all you need. So that is it. There's a fly in Mike's tea. No, that is chicory. But good shout. So see what, see if anyone's saying anything there. Andy Archer says, did you manage to get an image of your 123,000? Yeah, 123,456 members. Yes, we did. Actually, let's see if I can get it on my phone. I'm sure I did. I saved it because that is a memorable moment in the life of the channel. Let's have a look. Synology photos. Actually, I'm going to have to turn that around, don't I? Because otherwise... Oh, there we go. There you go. 123,456 subscribers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Won't be seeing that again until we are at 1.2 million subscribers. So there could be a while off yet. I was in the shop on Sunday, and I had to get to a point where I said to Luke, like, dude, seriously, just drop a sub on my channel. Who's asking for this?
They're saying that you're a milky Ovaltine.
There is my Ovaltine. It's not. It's whole earth, organic, no calf coffee alternative, made with barley and chicory. So it's barley and chicory root. It's pretty decent. I like it. I actually prefer it over coffee, to be honest, and tea. I used to drink tea literally like 6, 7 cups a day. It's all good. Hey Dutch Jan, how you doing? Ovaltine. Oh dear. Right. Oh shit. Right. I can't remember what the consistency is of TF7. I've got a feeling this might be what I used last time, but we'll see. So let's get some thermal paste on. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually what I used last time. So again, thanks to Rick for sending that in to us. Much appreciato. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to get my little spreader. And hopefully this spreads easily. I think it does. It doesn't. It spreads awful.
Russia thought Ovaltine too. Not dissolve very well, I've got to say. That's the only problem with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It does leave a fly in the top of it. And Rick says, my pleasure.
Right, that needs a bit more now, I think. Yeah, cheers, Rick.
Dutch Dan says, everything is fine, but very stuffy. Well,
What's that about?
everything is fine here, Mike, but
Oh.
it's stuffy.
Oh, yeah.
I assume the weather. Don't know what you asked.
Yeah, this isn't spreading very well at all, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little blob in the middle as well. So hopefully that'll squish out and make contact where it wasn't previously. Hopefully. If I was doing this on a flatter surface without the VRMs and stuff in the way, it'd probably be okay.
Carl G says, thanks, got the Ovaltine advert tune stuck in my head. So is that, he's from Bristol as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that Ovaltine Light?
Oh, that's not gone well. This is not going as planned. I'll sod it, that'll do. Comes to the worst, I will have to repaste it anyway.
I really don't remember any Ovaltine ads. Is it because it was Bristolian he signed it?
I'm not sure, I can't remember it.
Ovaltine Light?
All I can remember is, have you got a light boy? Ovaltine light. That's not. That wasn't Ovaltine light, was it?
Wasn't it?
No, that was for something else, wasn't it?
I thought it was Ovaltine Light.
Oh, was it? I don't know.
What would you say?
No, have you got a light boy? No, that's for something else. I'm sure it was.
I'm sure it was Ovaltine.
Right. Anyway, let's get this CPU cooler reinstalled. Put that back into place. I suppose I should use a magnetic screwdriver for this. Would make my life easier. Oh, my magnetism's run out. And what I normally do with this is I do about 3 or 4 screws just to get it started. And then just gradually torque them all down slowly. Wish those tubes would stay out of the way. Okay, I think that's okay now. So,
There it is.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
It is Ovaltine light.
Is it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. God damn it, I get bored of this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's it. We've hit the rock bottom.
It was a cartoonish one with a lady singing Ovaltina.
Right, there we go. It's grinded out. Not grinded out, bottomed out. That's the word I was looking for. So I was going to tuck the wires in at the top here.
James will be back soon.
Cheers, James. Get those just tucked into the VRM. There we go. So it's pretty clean looking when it's done. Not bad at all. There's a bit of grub. What? I got heat paste on my GPU. What? Don't stain my GPU. There's way too much money's worth. Okay, so that is it done basically. So now what I need to do is to reassemble the whole thing, put everything back together as it was originally. Then I'm going to put it back up on my desk, plug everything back in, and then I'm going to leave it running for a little bit and see if the temperatures have improved at all. I must say actually, considering this PC is on like pretty much all day, every day, those dust filters have done an absolutely cracking job in there to keep all of the dust and debris out, because actually it doesn't look that bad. I don't think, personally. What do you think? Let me know.
A lot of BTF makes it look very tidy. Dutch Jam
Yeah.
clean, only in an ugly case.
Wow. Wow.
Dutch Jam makes me laugh.
Dutch Jan, just violent insults there.
It's trying to be nice.
Thank you.
Looks clean. Lovely case.
Dave Endor says, or throw it in the bin and get an an AMD system. I've actually got an AMD system, which I could replace it with, but I don't want to. Cole G says different strokes and all that. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily ugly. I guess it's, yeah, it's down to the individuals, isn't it? I did think it was it wasn't like, it's not a pretty case, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily an ugly one. It's just unusual. Right, so I'm going to put all of my spare parts that are left over back in the box, because you never know when you're going to need them, or if you need to do some maintenance. Did I put the little, yep, the little screwdriver thing is in the box. I do keep all of my stuff. Sorry? Weathered says, I'm using a Ryzen 7 7700. New setup. Its boot time is around 50 seconds. How to improve this? Is this a problem with AM5? Yeah, we've done a video on that. If you just do a search on our channel for DDR5, and it should come up, how to improve the speeds. It's actually very easy to do. a couple of settings in the BIOS. So you turn on context restore and also turn on enable memory power down along with your XMP, and you should be good. Actually, for cleaning the... actually, no, I'm not. I'll give this a little bit of a clean.
How to speed up slow AMD DDR5 boot times?
Yeah, that's the one. There are Kath's going to put it in the video, in the chat for you. Holy moly. I think just cleaning this glass up is going to improve the performance. It's smeary. Actually, I have got some proper glass cleaner here, so I'm going to use that. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Actually, that's very good. Use it on LCDs as well, which is handy because I have an LCD. Awesome. Right, so now I can flip this around. And now I'm going to put the back panel on. It's gone a bit yellowy in the back here. That's the one thing about, especially cables, white cables tend to discolor really quickly. At least they do for us. Matthew Day says, quick tip, after an ad, turn it up to 1.25 to catch up. That's a good point. Okay. Not too bad on the top. Still actually quite clean there. I'm going to go to the kitchen a minute and grab the... No, I won't, because it's in here. So the front dust filter lives in here. And it's all nicely magnetized in. Daft, really. Whilst the PC was apart, I should have really gone on and done the swap the fans out. But then if I swap the fans out, I'm not going to get an accurate or even a reasonable amount of data to see if this has worked or not, to see if it's actually made a difference. And it may not make a difference straight away anyway. Anyway, that is that done. So I am going to put the PC back up in its original resting place. So I'm going to be off camera for a little moment while I just connect up my PC. So do bear with us. I'm tempted to run an ad, but I don't really want to do that to you because I like most of you. In fact, the large majority, to be honest. So yeah, just talk amongst yourselves a minute while I get my PC back up on top of my desk. Which is actually a really stupid place for me to put it, but it kind of works. Right, headphones. Actually, there's a ridiculous amount of cables in this PC. So there is a USB 3 for... Actually, I better have a look at this a bit closer before I do it. So there's a USB for the card reader. So I need that to be on a fast port. There's also, well, yeah, you've got audio output. Then I've got my LAN. That's, I think that's a mouse. So that can go into a slow port if I could find one. USB. Oh, the light in here is awful. 10G. Oh. So all the ports on the back of the PC are basically fast ports. So I'm a bit knackered. Not that that's obviously a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. Having fast USB ports is probably a good thing. That's a that's a USB Type C. That's why I can't plug that in there. Rookie mistake, trying to plug it into a USB-C. That's a 10 gig USB-C. Oh, and I've got another two USB 3.0s. What are they for? That one's a little bit on the short side. So then I've got an HDMI for my secondary monitor. Struth. And then I've got my display port for my primary monitor. And some of the cables are just a little bit too short for where this PC actually lives. Oh, and I just realised I've damaged that. That's silly. I bet the neighbours think I'm a weirdo. Well, actually, they know I'm a weirdo, but they probably think it even more. Right, let's plug in the power, because that is the final part of this master plan. Where's my little piece of cardboard to stop the PC rocking? Ah, there it is. Because the IKEA desk that this is on is a little bit unstable, I had to put a little bit of cardboard underneath one of the PC feet to stop the damn thing rocking and rolling around. Right, the PC is on. Excellent stuff. Let's plug it in my antenna. Not that I actually use Wi-Fi on here, but it seems to be taking a little while to boot, which is not a good sign, really. Oh no, there we go. Fans have changed speed, so we're all good. And what have we got on display? Does it think I've changed the CPU? Doesn't appear to. Are you going to boot? Come on, boot up. Oh, the agonising wait to see if your PC is actually going to boot. Seems to be taking a bit longer than usual. Oh yeah, there we go. New CPU has been installed. Right, bear with me a second. F1. XMP. Right, I'm just going to leave that as it is. Save and exit. You have not made any changes. No, correct. I don't want to make any changes to the BIOS. That is absolutely right. Right. There we go. And we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Changed the camera mic. There wasn't anything to see in the other camera, to be fair, but I get your point of view. Is nothing loading yet? Come on, reboot yourself. There we go. Right, let's catch up on some of the questions. A sweaty head, now I have my headband on. Or it's just the fact that I'm an old sweaty bastard. Right then. Actually, I've got some questions for those of you that are watching. What's happened to tech deals? This is a bizarre thing. Like, it seems to have just disappeared off the face of the earth. Where has tech deals gone? Who knows? Tell me the story. I'm intrigued. I used to watch tech deals all the time, especially like probably 2018, 2019, going into like 2020, that sort of era. I think when he moved house or moved studios, that's when I kind of started losing interest. But when he was back in his house, in his basement or whatever it was, doing those videos, doing comparisons and benchmarks, I used to really enjoy it. And I was a big fan of his haircut and teeth. They were amazing.
Did you see our Wolfman's?
I don't think I did yet.
A bit.
Irie Wolfman. How far up?
Quite a bit, I think. Sorry, I was doing something.
Kahula and milk?
Sorry? Mine factory selling.
What? Was it a question?
It's kind of tagged you in it.
I can't see. O'Reilly says, I swear the PCs I work on are just seeking attention. They often are. Let's catch up. Let's have a look. If there's any questions you've wanted to ask and I haven't answered at the moment, please feel free to put them in now. Hey Tumbrel, how you doing? Mark Gaines as well.
Mick Wood said Kerry Holzman said he couldn't get the back on the panel of his, I think that's back to front case.
Right.
Cap was too small.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm catching up. That's
Yeah, I was, Matthew Day says, I recall him getting very political on X. Did he get cancelled? I honestly don't know. It's been like a good 4 or 5 months. I must admit, I think I actually unsubscribed a while back, but every now and then, you know what it's like when you're bored and you do a search and it's like, what shall I watch? There's rarely like, well, for me personally, on my feed, there isn't like a huge amount of channels that I watch, and I don't really get a lot of time, but every now and then, if I get a little bit of downtime, or if I'm maybe sitting in my favourite chair trying to drift off a little bit, there's some certain channels which I do pick up on. So, yeah, that sometimes is one of them, especially some of the long streams that they did. I didn't like those particularly, but then I do long live streams as well. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's one of those things. Depends what mood you're in. Charles Ballard says, I took a look at Tech Deals on YouTube. I remember him. No new content for 4 months. I think I started watching him during COVID. Yeah, I think that is. I think that's pretty much where a lot of people are at with Tech Deals. A lot of channels, really. We ourselves, we did have some significant growth during that COVID era, but then that was to be expected, because what were people going to do apart from watch YouTube? And if they were watching YouTube, or if they had a stimulus check or furlough checks, as we got here in the UK, then it's like, well, what am I going to do? Can't really go out and do anything. I'll buy a computer or a PC or a laptop, and then I don't know how to work it, or it's broken. So we got obviously the backlash, not the backlash. We got the kind of the upkick from views from that as well. Thank you, Andy Archer, for the super chat gifting messages thing. So he's off. That's one for Matthew Day. Cryptic Llama was also gifted one. That took me a while to work that one out. Jay Rose, Jay Gordon, and Firestorm have all been gifted memberships by Andy Archer. Thank you very much, Andy Archer. And also, there we go. O'Reilly has done the same as well. Gifted another 5 Mike's Unboxing reviews and how-to memberships to Inky1919, Dukemans, Chris Hartford, Greg Dodd, and Dave Aitken. I reckon, oh actually, and also Pool 112. There you go. Enjoy yourself some memberships so you get early access to the content. Some videos actually do come out very early anyway. Like the one we did on Friday, I actually recorded that on Thursday, ready for Friday, because I thought, actually that's a really, really good idea. So I need to do that quick. And also thanks again to Zeno for the one which went out on...
Yesterday.
No, it wasn't yesterday's one.
It was. Wasn't it? The Windows key thing.
It was the Windows key thing, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, I'm getting really confused. Yes, that was great. Oh, bollocks. Aletta, just reminded me there, has my CPU warped? No, but my mind has. I meant to take the CPU out and actually put it against a flat edge to see if I could detect any warping. I think we've seen there is warping on it because there was basically no thermal compound in the middle. So I think it's gone concave. We'll see. Anyway, Brasher's come in with a €20 super chat. Thank you very much. What do you call a cheap circumcision? A rip-off. Ba-boom. Ouch. Like the things that most junior school kids suffer when they start using zips for the first time. Oof. David Underhill says you need to record a video on Friday for Thursday on how to build time machines. That's not a bad idea. Oh, imagine that. Imagine a time machine. That'd be great. I'd be straight back to the 80s. Then probably right to the future. Then back to the 80s again. Soul Blade says I really want to get myself an RX 7900 GRE. I'm going to have to wait a while though to get it. If you want one, Soul Blade, there is actually one for sale at the moment on our Discord. I'll put links in the chat. It's in the items for sale room, and I think at the moment it's under £400, which is a pretty good price, I think. Wolfman says Linus almost got his channel shut down for making a video on YouTube about not using Google. I'm looking forward to seeing what their response video is to that and see. It does appear that they broke the terms of service for YouTube, but I'm not sure of the specifics, and they didn't say on the WAN show today. I did have a brief listen to that to see what it is all about. Yeah, so it's an interesting one because I'm not too sure. Well, it depends what turns out, if they say what the terms of service are or the segments that actually did it. Because they said they are going to re-upload the video with the bits which are offending or breaking the terms of service. They were going to take those out and then redo the video. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. Irohan says they have a video up already. All right, that's interesting.
Yeah, Andy actually mentioned it in the WAN show and remade a response. But can you go back to the Bronx?
Can I go to the Bronx? You should have the same amount of subscription as Kerry, as you both have the same amount of knowledge. I would possibly disagree. I don't think we've got the same amount of knowledge. I think we've got different knowledge. There's some things that Kerry does which I have no idea what he's talking about, and no doubt there's things that I do which he has either no idea about or doesn't care about, which is good. We're very similar channels in a lot of respects, but we go about things at kind of sometimes similar angles, but often we are kind of slightly opposing. So, but that's all good. That's what YouTube should be about. If there's a channel you like, but there's certain aspects that you don't like, maybe there's someone else who does it in a way that you do like. And hopefully between us, we cover most bases. Paul Lamont says something to do with uBlock. Right. That's, yeah, blocking ads, of course. Yeah, that is de-googling your life, isn't it, by blocking ads. So yeah, using uBlock Origin or any of those ad blockers is against the terms of service for you using YouTube. Not just for content creators like us, also for you guys as well. If you're using an ad blocker on your PC to block ads on YouTube or wherever it is, if it's a Google operated thing, you are actually breaking the terms of service. So they are well within their rights to remove you from the service and basically cancel your Gmail account. You'll probably get a warning, but yeah, it is against the terms of service. John David Sullivan's in the house. How you doing, John David Sullivan? Aletta says, I no longer use Google for search. I use ChatGPT for my search engine now. Much better results. But isn't ChatGPT trained on Google? So shouldn't it, in theory, be the same results? Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure ChatGPT uses basically Google, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the news outlets as part of their large language model. I could be wrong. Andy Archer says, Kerry can be a bit off facts in his responses. Can't we all? AJ says, I watched Kerry until he turned into a condescending negative Nancy. The thing is, I kind of understand where he's coming from on a lot of things, because running a YouTube channel is really, it's times it can be quite testing. And he's been doing it a lot longer. So I'd imagine, and also being a much bigger channel, he's a bigger target as well. So I can imagine the grief that he goes through. And I don't blame him for being a little bit negative at times. And the thing is, if he wasn't negative or didn't do daft things, we'd have nothing to take the piss out of, would we? Let's be fair. And that would be boring. Dr. Rainbow Loves Cafe. Question. When I tried to turn on my PC, it takes 2 times to turn on. I had that before. What did I have that on? It was a long, long time ago, but I'm pretty sure it turned out to be something stupid like a BIOS battery. Or like a bad reset switch on the case. It was something really like pence to fix, but it went on for ages. It took me a long time to work it out.
Getting quite rowdy wherever it is.
A bit loud, isn't it?
Is in the cricket club.
Oh, it might be. Mark Berry says, Scotty Kilmer makes me laugh with his rants. Yeah. The thing is, there's a lot of channels which go off and we do rants. I've had a couple of rant videos, done nothing really too outrageous. The thing is, life's too short really to rant too much. Scotty Stalker says, I honestly don't know how YouTube creators put up with the BS they have to. They have the patience of a saint. It's one of those things you kind of, sometimes I can feel, you know, like when you get that, when you see red and you get that real kind of adrenaline rush and you can feel your blood pressure rising and your heart rate going. I get that with some comments where they say something and it's so, like, so ridiculously stupefying that it actually makes me angry how stupid the question is or the response. I'll be honest with you, that probably happens maybe once a month, maybe less. So I'm actually quite lucky, because we're a relatively small channel, so we're not targeted like the likes of kind of Kerry Holzman or Linus or Gamers Nexus, any of the type of channels, because they're a much bigger target.
They probably don't even read their comments, do they?
Yeah, chances are they have people to read their comments for them.
And ignore them.
Yeah, and ignoring comments is something which I've never been able to do. Which is
excuse me one moment while I step off camera.
Yeah, excuse me while I step off camera. I've got my Levi's on. Levi's, new jeans. They were on offer at the second-hand store, so, or charity store, I think they call them. In actually, they call them a thrift store in the US. There's in our little shopping area in our village. There's some really cool shops. Well, there's not really, but there is some. There's there's Melanie's Kitchen is a great little bakery, and next door, or a couple of doors down, there is a charity store for. Is it Macmillan or
St. Peter's?
St. Peter's Hospice. And yeah, quite often go in there and have a look. Kath likes to go in there and have a look. So yeah, I saw some of the some Levi's in my size, and it's like, yes.
I want a big, big saucepan to do my bone broth in. But I need to take a magnet to make sure it's not aluminium.
William Bodie says, I see the halo over Mike's head in RGB. Nice. Glow in the head. Thrift store, yeah, that's what they call them. The thing is, like, if I went to buy some jeans, Andy Arch says 501s now. I'm not, well, they might be, I don't know. They're just black jeans. I want to know which ones they are, actually, because they fit really nicely and I want to buy some more.
Read on the label inside of the leg.
I can't at the moment.
Not at the moment, but you've got the rest of your life to do it.
I might be able to, but if I can't get undressed on YouTube. That was a definite terms of service violation. Oh, actually, I need to check on my GPU temperature. Sorry, I know.
Again.
Right, I'm gonna get the temperature, CPU temperature. Armory Crate app. No, piss off. Right, I'm gonna need to leave that open. I'm just looking because in the top of my PC, I've got that LCD readout. It's a shame I can't get it on camera really, so you can see it. But the CPU temperature at the moment is, looks like it's about the same. So I don't think that has been the magic bullet, unfortunately. But we'll see. GPU, because the GPU temperature is awesome. It's about 33, 34 degrees idling, which is like basically about 5 to 10 degrees over the ambient temperature, which is exactly where you'd expect it to be. The CPU used to be about 32, 33 degrees. I could almost kind of match them up perfectly. So the CPU and the GPU would idle at exactly the same temps, but they haven't done. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Paul Gray, thank you much. Thank you much. Thank you very much indeed. I missed that word. Paul Gray, thank you for the 5 Aussie dollars. I didn't leave a message, so I can't answer your question, but thank you very much. You're a very lovely man. I'm trying to see the picture on that thumbnail. What is that a picture of? It's a really small picture on there. I can hardly see it. It looks like, is that like a coffee cup or something? What's the image on Paul Gray's profile picture? Riley says, Kath, what you and Mike get up to regarding measurements of clothing brands should remain off stream. Well, I'm very lucky because I am 50 years old now, as some of you are already well aware. And what size trousers do you think I wear in terms of waist? Put your guesses in the chat. I'll be interested to see what you think. Skystalker says Mike is a baby. Well, I do suck my thumb. Sky saying 36 inch. Rasha says 34. Raleigh says 36. Carl G says 38. Carl, it's easy. Kev 24 says 36. Lucky Man says, oh my god, I'm late. That's 34 waist. Mark Barry says 34. Andy Archer 34 long. Alright, says Mike is a baby. Rick says 46 inches. Rick.
46.
Rick, your keyboard's broken. Young man. Thank you for the super chat as well, I should say, as well, from Mark Gaines, £10. Thank you very much. It says, just purchased a Ryzen 7 7700X for my Project Zero build. Nice. For £247. Is that good value, Mike? It depends where you bought it from. I think if you bought it from Amazon and things like that, it's probably is really good value. I've been buying a lot of processors from AliExpress recently, and they've been actually really, really good deals. Whether or not they've got 70, I don't think, the last time I looked, I don't think they had the 7700X. I think it was mostly 7700s, or vice versa, possibly. But yeah, 240, so it's worth it for the money. The 7700X is great CPU. That's what I've actually got in the, no, that is in the rig. Actually, no, it's not even in any of the rigs at the moment, is it? Yes, it is. It's in the Ceres 350 MX at the moment, which is under the desk buried, waiting for another thing to go into it. But yeah, the 7700X is great. I use the 7700 non-X in the streaming PC purely because I don't really need an X version for streaming. It's just more temperature to be considering. The 65 watt TDP on there, it gets to about 90 watts max. So it's nice and easy to cool. It idles nice and cool. Doesn't use a ton of energy. So for me, it's fine. But yeah, if you're doing different things, I would probably go for the X over the non-X. But it depends what your needs are. But they're good processors, definitely. And now that the 9700 is out, which is what, £300 or plus, like 350 or something, which is absolutely lunacy. There's no reason for it whatsoever. Anyway, yeah. Thank you, Mark Gaines, again for your super chat. Much appreciated.
Get back to the subject you were on.
What's that? The jeans? Oh, there's another super chat.
Sorry, I'm
Thank you, Carl G. Carl says, thank you. Here you go, Mike. I'll pay for the insult. Hey, if you're going to pay for insults, you guys can knock yourselves out. I've got relatively thick skin.
Which is why his waist is so
Which is
big.
why my waist is so big, yeah. Calf?
I'm only saying it because it's
I know.
Carl.
Rasha says, looking for a 7800X 3D on AliExpress, no good prices. No, that is one which is actually quite difficult to get hold of. So, in terms of the jeans, yeah, some sizes I can get away with a 32, which for my age is awesome. But normally I'm a 34. Rick says I'm a 36 inches, so I say Mike is 34-ish. Yeah. So like I'm 5'10", 14 stone, and a size 34 waist. So at 50 years old, I don't think that's too bad, is it? I think that's all right. Although, obviously, if I had a full head of hair, I would be considerably heavier.
See, every cloud.
Every cloud. Kev says, how much extra would you pay for the X? To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't pay more for the X for my own personal needs, because I think the non-X version from AliExpress for about 150, or sometimes even less than that, is just ridiculous value for money. And the one which I had, which I thought was borderline faulty, is the one that's in the streaming PC, and it's been going really well ever since. So yeah, I've got no issues with that at all. Skystalker says, people say the 7700 non-X is a heck of a CPU, 65 watt versus 110 for the X version. Apparently PBO makes it a non-issue. Lucky Man says, and a thin wallet. Oh yes, very much. Very thin wallet. Viali says, I'm 61 and have a 28-inch waist. That's impressive. Sky says, you're doing just fine, Mike. Thank you. Dutch Jan says, I have to wear a belt, otherwise my 32, 36 jeans will fall off. Carl Jesus, if you had a full head of hair, you'd be 6 foot. James Miscellaneous says, I wonder if the new Intel will actually be good. Good for me means efficient, not re-binned CPUs. I'm actually interested to see what the deal is with that. Yeah, the new mobile chips are out already, so they're actually looking to be actually quite favourable. So the desktop ones could be really good. There's Candy. Hey Candy, how are you doing? You going to box? No? Simply not interested.
You want food days?
Dukeman says, I'm 32, 33 and I'm 60. Awesome. Skystalker says, I am 57 and a 28 inch, but I need the weight. You'll get there, son. You'll get there. Yeah, Matthew Day had, where's this? You're a stick insect. I'm 42 inch, was 44 before my weight loss plan. 2.5 stone gone. That's awesome. That is really awesome. I've sort of fallen off the wagon a little bit with my healthy eating. Well, I haven't fallen off the wagon as such, but I'm not being as strict as I was. So I am still restricting sugar intake a little bit. I'm not going nuts, but I am enjoying the occasional treat. Because I think life is too short. You have to enjoy stuff a little bit. Unless you've got some medical condition where you can't eat sugar, then yeah, having a little bit every now and then hopefully won't kill you. You never know. We'll find out. We'll find out in many years' time. AJ Haverkamp says, if I had wheels, I'd be a bike. Bit like, oh, who was that Italian chef? He was on the This Morning programme. What was his name? Gino De Campo. That's what he said about his mum. Or his gran. When they were saying something about his... he made a pasta dish. And they said, oh, if it had such and such, it would be a carbonara. And he said, yeah, if my mum had wheels, she'd be a bike. Oh, dear. James Mercedes says, you look good hula hooping in my utility. Thank you, James. I need to look at that again. I keep on meaning to do stuff, and my brain's terrible.
Do what again?
Look at James Miscellaneous's utility.
What, I'm hula hooping it?
I'm doing the hula hoop from the hula hoop video. He's put it in there. Alessa says, at 66 I still have 34-inch hips, the same as in high school. Awesome stuff. David Starbuck, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Oh, not necessarily. It's a very brave new world we live in. Brick says, when my skull was filled with cement in June, I gained half a stone. Is that true? I can never tell. Thanos in the house. Good evening to our Saturday fellowship. How you doing? Carl G says, the last time I stepped on the scales, it told me to F off.
Mike puts us in the corner for lying.
Yeah, I do. If mine lies, I take the batteries out. So
in the corner.
You've been a bad monkey.
Hey Otis, come here. Can you come say hello? Oh, Gandhi, don't hit Otis on the head.
Ivory Wolfman says, Mike, have you ever thought of reviewing trainers stroke runners? To be honest with you, yes. Because I did buy some Adidas trainers off of Amazon. And they were a really good price. But they were damn uncomfortable. Like, they were the most uncomfortable trainers I think I've ever worn in my life. But after about probably 3 months of wearing them, I don't know what happened, they just suddenly started giving a little bit. And they actually now have become some of the most comfortable trainers I've got. So I'm kind of glad I didn't, because if I went on my initial review, I'd have been like, please, for the love of God, do not ever buy these trainers. They are hideous. But after a while, they've become really, really comfortable. Anyway. James says, Mike, if you have 3 cats, can you juggle them? Ugly Bob told me to ask. We've got 6 cats, so I could probably juggle a few. I've got some spares, just in case one goes wrong. Thanos says, what have you got to drink, Mike? This is chicory and barley. It's like a coffee substitute. It's quite nice.
Did you answer William Bodie? How do we know to say his name right?
I don't, is the honest answer.
Ugly Bob translated.
Yeah, Ugly Bob translated it. I have no idea. I just kind of recognise the flag, I think. And the demeanour. David Andrew says, by the way, I am in the house. Hi, David Andrew. David Andrew says, my only coffee substitute is more coffee. Now, the thing is, for those of you that drink coffee, or drink tea for that matter, do you ever struggle sleeping? Be honest, do you ever struggle sleeping?
Or do you have are you tired that you need a coffee to wake up?
Yeah, or you need a coffee to wake you up in the morning. Because if you do,
I could sleep at night.
It's not good.
But I was always tired.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not always tired now.
Carl G says nope. Paul Lamont says nope. Because that was the thing. We were getting to the point where we were drinking a lot of tea and coffee, and it was getting to the point where we needed tea and coffee in the morning to kind of wake up and to stay awake. But then we were having terrible night's sleep because of too much caffeine.
I wasn't having a terrible night's sleep.
Well, I was quite a lot.
I was just very tired all day.
But yeah, I would struggle to get to sleep, or at least I would go to sleep, but then I'd be very wakeful or restless in the night. And since I've given up coffee and tea, yeah, sleeping's been great. Go to bed within about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, out like a light. Being of a certain age, get up for a pee every now and then, but other than that, quite often I'll sleep all the way through. Good 7-8 hours. Absolutely brilliant. And that is good for your mental state as well.
7 to 8 and the rest.
It's 7 to 10 to 11 hours sleep.
13. Sorry, Flame, but I do need a little bit of desk.
Carl, since I gave up the wife, I've slept like a baby. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Oh, I know what I had to do, apart from get all the grass off the desk. I've got a new thing from Thermaltake, which I'm not sure if I actually want to show you or not, or whether or not you're even interested. So let me know in the chat, do you want to see Thermaltake's latest product, which is actually very, very cheap for what it is? Let me know in the chat. Just let me know the yes, no, or I don't know what the other option is really. It is very much a binary choice, isn't it? Yes or no. Charles says, yes, show us. Viali says, show. Kev says, yes. Nick Barnes says, the TR100 ITX case. It's not that. It's not that. Don't get excited, because this is possibly, this is, I think, I could be mistaken here, but in terms of a physical product, I think this is actually the cheapest one that Thermaltake sell, potentially. Hey, Oats. There's Otis, if you can see him.
A little bit scaredy cats.
Hey, Oats.
You're okay.
You alright?
I don't like Grampy thumping his fingers, do you?
You don't like sausage tapping on the floor?
He's okay. He's a good boy.
Looks like everyone is interested. Paul Lamont says, Thermaltake, cheap? Show. Ah, go on. Go on, go on, go on. ITX PSU. No, it's not a PSU. Right, actually, see, better still, see if you can guess what the product is. And if I tell you how much it is, no, actually that's going to spoil. No, I'll tell you how much it is. It is £20. So have a guess what it is for £20, which actually is quite cool. And I think actually reasonably good priced for what it is.
Why is it flaming?
Rolly, get it out, get it out. People are saying it's a fan hub, a mouse, a fan with the LED screen. No. Does it have RGB? No, it doesn't have any RGB. This is going to be the thing that you're never, ever in a million years going to guess what this is. And in fact, if anybody guesses correctly, and I can, I will send it to you, free of charge. Because you're not going to guess. James Mercedes says, Mike, leak it like all the other YouTubers. No, GPU bracket. No, they have got a new GPU bracket on the market, actually. One of your pens? No. Cable extensions? No. Obviously, it's a hoverboard. I wish it was. Microphone? No. Good guess.
Some of our pens were posted out today.
Yes, some of the Mike's Unboxing pens have been posted out. Literally, I put them in the postbox myself. I did some actual work. Mouse? No. Microphone? No. Thermal cooler? No. Thermaltake t-shirt? No.
Our local post office has been shut this week, so
yeah.
The ones that need weighing and done properly for abroad.
Webcam? No. Speakers? No. Empty box? No. USB key? No. Mouse mat? No. Mouse pad? No. You're not going to guess it.
Kitten?
It's not a kitten. It's not a thermal pad.
Thermaltake kitten.
I'm going to put you out your misery.
Could we have one if they did a Thermaltake?
It's a Thermaltake sticker. No. This is something which I think some of you are actually going to really like. I'm personally slightly on the fence about it, I'll be honest. Because I know where I want to put it, but it won't physically fit. At least I don't think it will. Which sounds really ominous. And it isn't a butt plug, for those of you who are wondering. It's not a cold plate driver, or a keyboard, or RAM. Thermaltake RAM for 20 quid? Are you smoking something? Thermaltake condoms. Your mod, your way. Sticker, who needs that? M.2 heat? No, it's not the M.2 heatsink. You're never going to guess. You're never going to guess. So, it's available in 3 sizes. Small, medium and large. And no, it isn't a Thermaltake condom, again. Definitely not. And it's not Thermaltake slippers. And it's not a statue of me. A Thermaltake logo signature. No. Thermaltake butt plug RGB. Nope, it's not that either. Come on. Small, medium and large. What things come in small, medium and large?
Pants.
You should know this. A backpack? No. Thermal hat? No. Thermaltake oil for fans? No. I'm not reading that one out, David. Thermaltake tee? That would be nice. A stuffed cat? Socks? T-shirt? Fans? Underwear? Genitals come in those sizes. They generally do, apparently. A case? A Thermaltake bag? A speaker? No. Screws? Okay. Look, you're not going to guess this, so I'm just going to show you what it is. I've probably blown this up a little bit more than it needs to be. So I'm just going to show you. I'm reading the comments, I'm trying not to laugh. Shoes. A bloody pegboard. Irish woman sold. Dave Starbucks says that was my next guest, lol. Brick says, what the actual? A pegboard from TT. A pegboard of... So, it is a Thermaltake pegboard, available in small, medium and large, which I think actually they've done something very clever here, because these pegboards, if you go to IKEA, they do one, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but there's a specific name of one where you can get all the little bits and pieces and add-ons and hooks and what have you, which pretty much almost every YouTube video of the recent, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, probably since COVID, since those boards have come out, loads of people have had them. They've either had their tools hung up on it, sorry, they've either had their tools on it, keyboards on display, headsets, heat guns, pipe bending tools, you name it. A lot of people use this type of thing in the background, which normally they have to be mounted onto a wall. So you have to get screws out, wall plugs, fixers, all that kind of stuff, and you have to drill into the wall. It's a pain in the ass. But this is actually a clamp-on version. So if you want to, you can just use clamps and clamp it onto a desk of various different sizes. And the fact that they've done it in small, medium and large is actually, I think, is genius. Because not everybody wants a massive pegboard on their desk. Some people do want a massive one on their desk to put, maybe to hang a couple of keyboards on, like if they've got a wireless keyboard for work and one for gaming and they want to have it stored somewhere nicely. Perfect. You've got headsets and stuff, or pens, or USB cables. So the 4 sizes that are available. This one is 40 by 30, I believe, or 40 by 32. If you go to the Thermaltake, well, if you go to the thermaltake.com website, you've got all 3 there already, or just type in Thermaltake pegboard medium. You'll see it. At the moment in the UK, this is available from Scan Computers, scan.co.uk, and the small version, I think, is £15.
Is it metal or plastic?
Good question. I haven't taken it out of the box yet. I have no idea. This is brand new in. What is a pegboard? I'll show you. It will make sense when it comes out of the box, hopefully. Yeah, so 3 versions. Small, £15. Medium, £20. Large, I don't remember, because I was having a flick through looking at the prices. I don't think the large one would suit me, but this, in terms of size, I think is actually going to be perfect for there, which would be good because I can put a keyboard on it when I'm not using it. Because quite often I'll sit or stand at the table desk here making some content, and I'll have a keyboard from another computer kind of stacked in front of the one I've got here normally, and it's just a right kerfuffle. So having a rack where I can just lift it onto is great. You can put gaming controllers on it, you can hang your headsets from it. You've got 3 pin magnets, so you can put like well, whatever you want, like a card or a post-it note or whatever you want to do. And it's got 2 hooks, and it's rated for up to 5 kilos, which is actually quite heavy, because you think a good, decent, full-size mechanical heavyweight keyboard is about 1 kilo, just over 1 kilo. So you could potentially put 3 or more on here without it bending. So that's quite a lot of weight. So let's have a look. I don't know whether it's plastic or metal. I'm guessing it's going to be plastic, but it feels quite heavy. So let's turn the camera to the overhead and you can see what actually comes in the box. Exciting. So gaming desk pegboard medium, clamp on pegboard, and you get the assembly instructions.
Ruby says you can 3D print a lot of pegboard accessories.
Yes, that is, I was going to mention that actually, yeah. For 3D printing of the accessories is actually quite handy, because I'm not sure if they actually sell them separately. So you've got Allen keys and some of the hooks there, and some nuts and bolts, some washers. There is 2 joystick holders and also a headset holder. And what else have we got here? So we've got one clamp and another clamp, Nothing under there.
RGB.
No RGB. It feels like it's metal. Yeah, that is metal. Well, yeah, I suppose it will be because it's magnetic, isn't it? And it's got a very discreet Thermaltake logo in the top corner.
Made from steel.
I'm not sure if it's... I guess it would be steel if it's magnetic, because aluminium is not magnetic. Am I right in thinking that? So, magnets. Blimey. Those are strong magnets. So you've got your hooks. And you've got your magnets. 3 magnets. I quite like this. I wasn't entirely sure that I would, but I do kind of like it.
You put it on your wardrobe door.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna...
Mine, I could use it as a drawer handle.
Let's do some assembly. Comes with the tools included. Very IKEA-esque. I think actually for well, starting price of £15, I don't think it's too bad. When I first saw it and it come through, and because it came through from Scan Computers from Thermaltake Germany, and I was like, well, I never actually like knew what this was going to be. And when I took it out of the box, I was like, oh god, what the hell? Kind of like what you lot said. But then when I thought about it, I thought, actually, how much is it, first of all? Let's see how much, what does this thing actually cost? What's this going to set me back if I actually want one? And is it going to be hard for me to recommend? Because if it's something which comes through from a company, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that is a little bit on the like, ridiculous side, I will say, look, I don't think this is right for the audience. I won't be nasty and just say, like, this is just some overpriced shit. But this is, I think for like 20 quid, if you need it, like, you think the things that we spend 20 quid on for our computer fetish, like things like, well, let's look at what well, I didn't spend it, but someone else spent it on that LGA frame that I just put on my CPU. These are like, can be anything up to like 15 quid. That's just a little piece of metal. Once I've assembled this, and I'll hang it up, and then we'll get a better look at it. So for anyone who's interested in what the hangers are actually like, we will take a look. Riley's computer fetish, lol. Well, it is, isn't it? Most normal people of our age will be buying things like, I don't know, well, plants or something, or garden. So wall mounted is better. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that they didn't put some sort of wall mounting option. Yes, I will do. Wall mounted be better. Well, I think I'm gonna wall mount it. I'll end up, when I put it in here, I'm thinking it's gonna go there. So I'll probably 3D print out a couple of little spacers, like a couple of mil, which actually I've done a lot of that recently. And ironically, I threw them all in the bin last night in a fit of rage. Corsair charged 200 for the same thing. Holy crap. So, iRealPoint says the large is 25 quid, medium is 15, small is 10. What's that, pounds? Was I looking at the wrong prices? So, medium for 15 quid, like 15 quid for this, if you actually need this or you want it, 15 quid is awesome. I thought it was more than that, but perhaps I am wrong. It has happened before. Right, I think what I'll do is, if I give you a close-up of all the accessories on the camera, and then we'll try and put some on there and see what they look like. But yeah, this actually, it might be a bit big for where I want it to go. So I might consider getting the smaller one. it's such a small price for what it is. Right, so let's give you a close-up. So this is the joystick or gamepad holder. Obviously you can use whatever you want. It's got rubberized pads on the bottom as well to stop it slipping around. And you get 2 of those included. So if you've got like 2 Xbox controllers, or you've got an Xbox controller and a PlayStation controller, and you want to put them both somewhere safe when you're not gaming. And when it comes to the clips on the back, that is what the clips look like. Hopefully you can see what they look like. A bit poorly lit, I do apologise, but they're just like clip overs. So that is those. You get this one here, which is the for hanging a headset on. So that goes actually that way round, doesn't it? So your headset would hang down there. There's clips on the back, or clamps. Quite a reasonable width to the band there. So
Pegboard mount for PC case is what we will need.
yeah, that's right, yeah. And
Mount it on the front of your PC case.
these are solid metal. Again, same sort of hook on. So these are cable clamps, I guess you could call them. I guess you could, if you've got VR controllers or something, maybe those hooks would be quite useful for that. And then last of all, you've got the little magnetic pieces, which got a little bit of a kind of a knob bit on the end, so you could possibly hang cables over that as well if you wanted to. Magnets in there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be. I was looking at it thinking, I don't know. But again, for this, if that is the right pricing, like 25 quid for the big one, 15 quid for this, like that's not a lot of money. And I could think if you're really kitting out your own desk and your setup, maybe having a few of these isn't going to cost you an absolute fortune. And apparently, like somebody said in the chat, the Corsair one is like 80 quid. And it all actually feels pretty substantial as well. If you're a hardware guy, this is like a dream. I mean, the hardware store type of guy. Right, yeah. Mike, do you fix things around the house? I have done. I don't tend to be honest with you, most things, if they break, I just leave them. And just go la la la.
Handle for how many years now?
Yeah.
About 6.
I do need to 3D print a handle for Kath's wardrobe. If I ever find a plan for it, I will do it, definitely. It's I think it's the Cullen wardrobe. IKEA Cullen.
I've been able to use that drawer for 6 whole years. Everything's stuck in it.
Yeah. I just noticed the leg for the table.
What's this connect for?
Yeah. And Riley says, looking on Amazon, I can't find any pegboards that size really. It is a fairly niche product.
Yeah, you could have it there, couldn't you? On the desk, so when you next get a PCIE, it covers the mirror.
Yeah. What do I need? Let's grab have I got a headset handy? Probably haven't. So, joysticks. Where would I put a joystick on it? I don't even know where I'd put them. Where's my joysticks? Where's my joysticks at?
What colour are you going to be? Yellow or red?
Yeah.
Yellow or red?
For, yeah,
Connect 4.
Connect 4. I haven't got another gamepad here. I think I've got one somewhere. Oh well. Let's get some headset action on the go.
Unless it says no Thermaltake pegboards on.
They might not be out there yet. They're on their website. Got a headset hanger. Got your game pads on there. I suppose if you want to, you could display a mouse or something on there, or if you've got another mouse.
Cats would have a field day in the night.
The choice, as they say, is yours. And if you don't like the layout, you just move it around a bit. Stick a USB cable on. It doesn't work particularly well, but it's entirely up to you, isn't it? However you do it. I think it's actually quite an interesting product. And again, for £15 or whatever, it's not exactly breaking the bank, is it? Let me get a close-up of that.
Makes your eyes kind of funny.
So yeah, hopefully you get an idea of what that is all about. I'm assuming at some point they'll have extras of these available. There was another one, I think on the large one, it comes with pen holders as well. So you've got your pen holders and that is. Considering that's actually pretty sturdy. The clamp is pretty good. Rubber backed and all that. Yeah. And if you wanted to, obviously, if you've got the hardware, you could just wall mount it. But you are going to have a little bit of space behind it. So you're going to need to pack it out behind by about that much. Just so that...
See how much? Above the camera line.
Oh, sorry. About that much. That's not focusing. Because you've got these little bits that hang at the back. So you're going to need to pack out with some washers or something behind it. So that those can still go through and kind of hook in place. Which obviously makes sense. So yeah, maybe you measure it. I would say if you give it 5mm behind, so 5mm is approximately
What is the hole spacing?
Oh, good question. Hole spacing is looks like about 25mm, or in freedom units that's just over an inch, or just under an inch, sorry. But yeah, it's an interesting little product, isn't it? And I think it's nice that companies are trying things which are a little bit different. It all gets very boring, doesn't it, when everything's all the same. Every single case on the market is a fish tank case or an 011 dynamic clone. So yeah, I quite like the idea of that. I didn't think I would, but actually quite useful. And I think it will fit where I want it to go. Someone's going to turn around now and say, I want it in white. Yeah, that'll go in there easy. Don't really want it there, but well, Kath doesn't.
It's our dining room.
It's not a dining room. It hasn't been a dining room for 7 years. Well, probably 5. So anyway, there we go. Handy unit, quality and good price. Yeah, definitely. IKEA is 31 quid for the same in white. Arguably because the IKEA one has been around a lot longer, I think it's probably almost justifiable. Paul Gray says, Mike's Unboxing, thanks for having me. Take care all, have a great day. Thanks, Paul Gray. See you later. Handy unit, quality and good price, says Nick Barnes. Yeah, I've read that, didn't I? New wear clamp on table and desk organizer storage pegboard on Amazon UK, available in white, red and has pen holder, same size as that. Thermaltake medium and is 23 quid in red or £33 in white. So yeah, link up above in chat. Thank you. So yeah, I think Thermaltake have done I would say arguably a surprising thing. They're not often known for being kind of budget orientated. I guess some of the things are, like the CT120 fans, they're slightly on the more budget side. But yeah, something like this, I was expecting this to be 50 quid, if I'm honest. Being Thermaltake, who they are and what they do. It's even got nicely rounded edges. It's powder coated as well. So it's not just spray painted, it is actually properly powder coated. And it's pretty uniform. There's a tiny little bubble there, but the metal has been rounded off, so there's no like sharp edges or anything, so you can run your fingers along it. It's not going to cut you or anything. It's actually done really well. I'd love to know what case back panel this is made of. I don't think, actually, I think the steel is probably too thick for any of the Thermaltake cases. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Glenn says, no, quality looks nice. Andy Archer says, Thermaltake watching, put prices up. I don't think they would. They might do. Oh yeah, so IKEA's 31 quid in white, which is the same as the two Thermaltake mediums. So basically the same price. Yeah, arguably, I would say, yeah, the IKEA one, for some people, might be preferable. But this is definitely an option. And if they get to the point where if they release the 3D printing files for these, that would be awesome. So then the 3D printing market can get involved and do some like their own add-ons and customization, which they already have for the IKEA ones. If you go to somewhere like Maker World or Bamboo Labs or Bamboo Studio rather, any of those places, the IKEA one, I'm not sure what the IKEA one is called. Is it like Callus or something? I'm not too sure. But then those don't come with the clamps. So I think actually having the clamps included is pretty neat. It's just I'm kind of thinking I wouldn't mind it here, but I'm not sure. How do you pronounce this? Cicadis? Is that? Staccadis? Scadis? Scadis? I don't know. James Miscellaneous says, I brought my son to IKEA for his first time. He likes it there. I honestly, I don't mind IKEA at all. Kath hates going there. But we used to go there, well, when we were redoing the house, when we built it, we'd go there almost every single day. We'd finish work and then go to IKEA for a couple of hours and then come home and start decorating and painting. So I think that's probably what has got some sort of emotional track for Kath. But she needs to know that if she goes there again, it'll be great. It won't happen again, it'll be fine. Oh, I forgot there's hooks as well. So you can hook these bad boys on. And again, put your cables on. Or yeah, whatever you want to do with it, really. Actually, that's what I wonder.
I like whacking your face on the travelator with the cushions down the sides. Or chucking pillows behind me at you. That's fun. Look. Alright, you can use two of them together to create that.
Ah, so a cat bed.
Get a cat bed down.
It's wider than the keyboard. Can you have a look? Oh yeah. So yeah, if you had a 65% keyboard or like a gaming keyboard, I think that'd fit on there pretty cool. And you could get one on top of the other as well. Will it fit 3 kittens? Glenn says the TT pegboard is $14.99 on scan at the moment. That's pretty good, isn't it? 15 quid, you can't go wrong. It's one of those things that I think when you kind of you get the idea, or you get propositioned with the idea, you think, what the hell? But then you think, actually, I could make use of that. So yeah, it's pretty good. And you, unlike IKEA, you get the tool included to actually assemble it, which is quite nice. IKEA, I'm pretty sure, don't. Alessa says, I'd never heard of IKEA until I subbed to this channel. I just learned they have stores. Weird. Yeah. How's the PC? Let's have a look at the temperatures over there. What are we looking at? Come on, go back to CPU load. GPU temperature. Come on, roll around to the next one. RAM. I don't care about the RAM. CPU temperature.
Is there holes on the other side?
38 degrees.
Together?
Is there what, sorry? Holes?
Holes to connect two together.
No. Not that I'm aware of.
Ah, oops, what are you doing?
The thing is, it's not designed, I don't think, for wall mounting. If I've given that impression, I apologise, because it doesn't say anywhere about wall mounting, and that is my own personal kind of idea behind it, how I would use it myself, because I don't have a desk which I can actually get this clamp onto. Most people, if you've got a regular computer desk, you're going to be absolutely fine. You just clamp it onto the back of your desk and you're off to the races.
We give it to George.
If it was in white, I would give it to George, but I don't think he'd want it in black. Right, let's see if I can pack this away without destroying it too much, so I can actually still make a video. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting little product. I wasn't too sure. Again, like I said, my initial reaction was, this is going to be expensive. But after seeing the prices, I was actually quite impressed. Come on, get in there, you swine. That's close enough. I'm getting too old for this. Put those back in there. I've got no idea how all that went back in, so we will just la la la. It's absolutely fine. No, those are for that. How much clearance needed under the desk for the clamps? Right, okay, so that's the clamp. So I'm guessing it depends how, well, in terms of from the back to the front. Good question. For the actual clamp itself, I would give yourself 50 millimeters. It actually measures in about 47, 48. But if you give yourself 50 millimeters or approximately 2 inches, that should be fine. In terms of the biggest opening, so the biggest desk or the chunkiest desk you can get on here, I'll fully unwind it. We'll see what it's like. So the thickest desk you could get in there would be 60 millimeters, and that is approximately 2.5 inches. And then if you have that size of desk, the maximum kind of overthrow for the screw and the tightening mechanism, you're looking at 75 millimeters or 3 inches. And in terms of width, it's 1 inch, well, about 23, 24 millimeters wide, which is just a slight smidgen off of 1 inch.
Clamp has a hole. Can you screw that to the wall?
No, because that is where the screws actually go into. So to actually attach the pegboard to here, you use the screws in through there. So these are machined threads. So the board goes into there, your screw or your bolt goes through there and locks into there. I'm sure there's a way that you could do it if you wanted to. For wall mounting, I would suggest getting probably an M6, yeah, maybe an M6 bolt Obviously, if you're wall mounting it, you can do basically whatever you want to, but as long as you've got some spacers, giving about 5mm behind it, you should be good. Nick Barr says, thanks Mike, so easy to fit rear edge of desk. My son has passed to me. Side won't fit as it's only 25mm to the steel frame. Right, that bit. What's that music?
I don't know, it's getting on my nerves all night. Like, what song is it?
Yeah.
No idea.
Put some wood around the steel frame. Yeah, if you put some wood around the steel frame and then pack it out a bit, that might be an answer. Where there's a will, there's a way with DIY. Raj D's in the house. How you doing, Raj D? Says, hi Mike, Kath, and all in the chat. What's new, Raj? What's going on? Shady says, evening Mike, Kath, and fellow viewers. How you doing? Alright, he says, I'm tempted to maybe get one for work. Not sure until I sit at my desk where I might put it. I think that is one of the deciding factors. I'm almost guessing that is why they've kind of priced it as they have. Because at the price they've got it at, it's kind of like, well, if you do buy it and you don't really use it, it's not the end of the world. And I think that's actually quite a clever thing for them to do. How did this even go in here? Ah, that way round. Got it. Ah, perfect. Hey, I'm pretty good at this reboxing, look. Wonder if someone would give me a job. Oh, I've got loads of bags and boxes. I like the fact they've used resealable bags as well. Nothing bugs me more than companies that don't use resealable bags. Because the whole point of having a bag is the fact that it shouldn't be a one-time use, because they are quite handy. Especially if you're into certain substances.
Raj is good, just finished a server upgrade.
Oh, nice one. Oh, I thought I'd lost the screw then. I haven't. That's all there. Mike's reboxing. Oh yes. I have to go through this so often. More times than you actually get to see. And Kath often gets to hear it because I'm cussing away. Where's going here? But this has actually been really easy to repack. I'm quite pleased with that. There you go, all done and dusted. So there you go, that is the Thermaltake pegboard in medium. Clamp on pegboard. I'm pretty pleased with that. That's yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be as impressed as I was. Again, if you have the need for it, it's perfect. What's that? You're getting adverts?
An advert from Casualty.
Was it?
BBC Casualty advert.
BBC Casualty advert.
Desperate.
On our computer. How
on our stream.
How very dare you?
Is that the finale then? That one.
Oh yes, the end of series finale, isn't it? Two-parter.
But ending.
No.
Oh, it was.
No, they haven't got the kahunas to do it. They will do it soon, but I think it's got another year. Our front door.
There's a cat flap.
Huh. Thought somebody was coming in our front door. Don't despair, we're going up your stairs. As a certain person. Xbox controller, classic, love it.
Who's that, Davey? Hey, Dave.
Right then, let's have some questions from you lovely people in chat. We've got about a quarter of an hour left before we call it a night, unless the questions get very interesting and in-depth, in which case we'll go on a little bit further. I'm just looking over at my temperatures at the moment, so CPU temperature is still roughly about the same. I have recorded some OBS footage prior to doing this. I will try and replicate that tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll let the CPU sit overnight. I will then let it, the thermal paste settle. David, you got a crap in your towel. Not crap, genuine crap, but, well, no, he hasn't.
Mud and soil and
mud and soil and
sticks.
grass cuttings.
And sticks and stones.
Dirty. He's covering up half the camera with his tail. Dave?
Aren't you going to answer the question?
Anyway, so yeah, I have done some footage already, some OBS. I'll replicate the situation tomorrow. I've also taken a note of the temperature that it was when I did the video originally. So I'll take all that into consideration. I'll let it cool down, let the thermal paste settle, let it do a couple of heat cycles and see where it goes. And yeah, see what happens.
Shave Dave.
O'Reilly says, for me, I am at the first stage. Justify need for a pegboard. Yeah. It's one of those things as well that it's actually quite heavy. So posting it isn't going to be cheap. Alessa says, I got Fritos and I'm not sharing. We don't know what Fritos are.
David Starbuck, I have 11
Unless you're
cats.
Welsh, they have 3 toes.
David Starbuck, I have 11 cats, or do 11 cats have one of me?
Yeah, I think the 11 cats have you, Dave. That's nuts.
That's double us, nearly.
That's nuts.
You right, Dave?
William Bodie says, sorry, but Kath used to rebox when Mike did not know how to. She has done that before. There's some things which I couldn't pack away. What was it? I think that was the fans, wasn't it? There's been a couple of things I haven't been able to rebox. I was like, Kath, just could you please do this? I can't get my head around it.
Yeah,
She could have her own channel. Simon Feezy says, I would use woodblocks for my monitor clamps, even though I don't need to. I shouldn't ruin a 300 quid desk with a 25 quid clamp. Felt the protectors didn't seem quite adequate. Fair dues.
I had nightmares then. Wood blocks, what was it? Wood pricks. We had all
Yeah.
these comments
Yeah.
every day.
I get my designs from wood pricks.
Constantly.
Oh, God.
And then they just stopped.
James Miscellaneous, classic. Okay, now break out the ASUS drain board for dishes.
What's wrong? Jump in.
Good idea. Fritos are corn chips. Got you. Okay. Raj D says that on the Scan website, purchase 2 of the large pegboards and the shipping is only £5.48. If you order 3, then the shipping is £199.68. I'm relatively sure that's an error. I would definitely check in with them if you're after 3 of them. Or just do it on 2 separate orders. Well, no. Yeah, the postage would probably be a bit much then. I would give them a call or go onto their support tab. Still hear the music. Joe Barnes says, who says Nick Barnes should get a new kitten, not a new PC? Haha, hello all. Joe, I'm going to try and remain neutral on this one. I have nothing but the best regards for both of you, but I don't want to get involved in that. But if anyone else wants to get involved, feel free to do so. Glenn says, how heavy is the pegboard? The pegboard itself is actually quite weighty. In terms of, like, if it wasn't metal, see if it's got a, I didn't weigh it actually, and it doesn't, does it say on here? It's unusual, normally it does say a weight on there, doesn't it? Gross weight. It might say the gross weight, but unfortunately, no, it can't do actually. Well, it's got, if anybody wants to do, oh, wrong camera. If anybody wants to do a Google Translate on that sticker on the back, you're more than welcome to.
But what's the translate? Don't think we can see it well enough. What sticker are you pointing at? You can't see that, it's blurry.
That's all I got. In terms of weight, I haven't got the scales here, so I don't have an idea. I would say it's probably about, that's a kilo. It's probably about 2 kilos. Not suitable for dishwasher. No, I don't think it's 5 kilos. I'll tell you what, I've got some miniature scales which do up to 2 kilos, so we'll see if I'm right or wrong. It might just be slightly over 2. Actually, what about the old scales? Do they do? No, maybe not. All right, Dave. All right, Otis. All right, Flame. Right then. I don't think this is actually going to do it, but we will see. I'm pretty sure this stops at 2. All right. It's not very accurate, but I reckon it's like 2.5. Right, 2 kilos and 2,677. So just over 2.5 kilos. So it's actually quite weighty. There is a decent amount of metal there, to be fair. It's pretty strong, pretty sturdy. Not suitable for a dishwasher, I like that. And of course that is 2 point something kilos the whole lot. All the fittings, the lot. The actual pegboard itself, I'm guessing, is going to be just under 2 kilos. Maybe.
It can support 5 kilos then.
Oh yeah, it can support 5 kilos easily. I think it even says on the box that it will support up to 5 kilos. Charles Bunner says, I would say that's 2.23. That's including the box and the pack-in mine as well. Okay. Is there anything else we were going to discuss? I think there's something else which I had to mention. I can't think what it was now. Just looking on my board of videos and stuff I've done. No, nothing on there. Okay. Cardboard box won't be more than a few ounces. It probably isn't. You're probably right, yeah. Well, if you take into account all the adapters that are in there that are plastic, they're lightweight, they're probably only a few grams each. The metal brackets and the magnet brackets, the magnets are got a little bit of weight to them. But yeah, I'd say around about 2. Get the kitchen scales out. That was the kitchen scales. I think the only way to get an accurate measurement would be to take the board out again and reassemble it, which I'm not doing. Definitely not. Rasher says, why does the weight matter? That's a good point, actually. I suppose in terms of, well, it says on the box that it can support up to 5 kilos in weight. And I think it would do that very easy. It's a very sturdy construction. Jan says, is the CPU warped or not? I'm not entirely sure it is. I'm going to actually, let me fire up hardware monitor a minute and I will have a quick look. And I might be able to compare that with what I had previously. It is a little bit cooler in here than it was when I was doing it previously. Wait for the point where hardware monitor says, oh, by the way, there's a new version available if you're interested. No. Not really. Thanks for asking. Right, where are my temperatures? That's RAM. Do you know what? It might actually be better. I'm just looking at the thermal paste obviously hasn't cured properly yet anyway, but in terms of the initial results, I just fired up hardware monitor. When I did it previously, I was recording on a completely shut down system, so no windows open, no Outlook running or anything, just basically how the system boots up. The only thing I had running was OBS and also a hardware monitor, and it was around about 39-40 degrees, and that was about half a degree warmer. It's about half a degree cooler in the room at the moment, but it does appear at the moment, these are package temperatures as well, by the way. Yeah, it's down to 34. So there actually does seem to be arguably about getting on for a 5 degree difference. I'm actually tempted to fire up OBS a minute, just so I can capture this. So bear with me a second. OBS. OBS, inside of OBS, inside of OBS. Right, start recording. Minimize. Let's see if that affects the temperatures. I don't think it will, because OBS is very, very GPU dependent. And yeah, 36, 35, 36, 34. So yeah, it does seem better. Arguably that could be down to a couple of things. Half a degree cooler in the room. Fresh thermal paste potentially might help a little bit, especially if it's been squishing out the sides. The bracket itself may have something to do with it, and of course after getting it warm and then flattening it out a bit, that might help to prevent some of the curvature, or at least correct some of it. I'm not sure if that contact frame will undo curving or potential curving or concaving of the CPU. But we'll see. See what happens. Ira Wolfman says it's 14 degrees Celsius here with 92% 92% humidity. Where are you, in the shower? Holy crap. It's 71% humidity here, and it actually doesn't feel too bad because the temperature is dropping a little bit. Although still 22.8 degrees. So 23 degrees for argument's sake, which is actually quite nice and mild. I don't have to wear a jacket at the moment. Carl G says, right, my name's Golf and I'm off. Another cracking live stream. Take care, Mike and Kath, night all, and the Americans, good afternoon. No worries. Yeah. Nick Barnes says, to confirm the CPU is flat, you would only need to remove AIO pump in a few days, or is that false because the paste could stick to the AIO surface on removal? Yeah, I don't know. I might still do. I do want to update the video, because the last video I did, when I did it in it, because I over tightened it, I was getting all kinds of weird problems with the system, which some of you have probably seen already. And I got a lot of backlash about that. But the thing is, I'm used to, like, if you're putting on a CPU cooler, you screw it in until it bottoms out because you want the tension there. And that was how AM4 always worked. You wanted to get a nice bit of tension on your CPU cooler. And in fact, a lot of coolers, such as Corsair's, the HX, right? No, was it HX? Anyway, whichever ones it was, the Corsair coolers, people would always not tighten those up enough. And they'd come into the Discord and be like, well, I've got high temperatures on my system, what's going on? And almost the first thing we'd say is, have you made sure that the CPU cooler is like firmly tightened? Have you got all the screws done right up? And even for things like the stock AMD cooler, people often, because it makes that grunching noise when it's going in, people don't tighten it up enough. And that is kind of what I was thinking, or trying to translate to the installation, because you're thinking, well, it's a CPU, you want it to have good contact, you would think that it's been manufactured in such a way that you just grunch it down and you tighten up as far as it will go. But obviously after time has gone on, we saw from other companies that made these that there were kind of some specific torque or some specific settings to be used to get the best out of it. But the box, as you saw, it basically just showed like an arrow, like to tighten, but it didn't say don't tighten too much or tighten all the way, then loosen off half a turn or anything like that. It's just tighten. So I tightened it till it didn't go any further, which should in theory be, that's the right way, isn't it? If it's machined correctly, it would be machined so that you turn it all the way until it stops dead stop, and that should be perfect. But it wasn't, and it isn't. So maybe I've learned a little bit on that. So I've not done it up as tight as possible. I've just got it to the point of where it's holding it in place, which I guess is kind of what the retention mechanism is meant to do, to hold the CPU on the motherboard. It's not designed to kind of torque it or crank it down like you see with Threadripper and things like that. But that is one of the pros and cons of the LGA socket. Obviously with the PGA or pin grid array that we've got with AM4, the CPU can only go a certain amount of distance into the socket because of the pins will only go in a certain way. It's a physical boundary. It can't go any further. You can't crush it. But with obviously LGA, you've got the little pins on the motherboards which are bent over at an angle, so too much pressure and they kind of bend and weird stuff happens, which is unfortunate. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. At the moment, the CPU temperature, I've got a feeling that the Thermaltake software that's updated for the LCD screen is picking up the CPU temperature from, I don't know where it's picking up from actually, but it seems about 5 degrees out. I think it's using hardware info. Not sure. Hardware monitor I like using because it's very basic. We're at 37, 38, so it's in the 30s. Technically, because the ambient temperature in the room is still quite high, like in the winter here, normally the room's around about sort of somewhere between 18 to 20. When the fire's going really well, it gets up to about what it is now, 22-ish, maybe slightly more. So anyway, it'll be all right. Zero defects says the thermal paste might need some time to cure. Yeah, definitely. I will see how that goes. I'll let it cool down overnight. When I come back home tomorrow, give it another shot and see what the temps are like. And I'll try and take it, well, it was 23.2 when I first started doing that. So I will take into account any drops in temperature as well. Right, I think that is pretty much it for tonight's stream. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've got some ideas of where you might put your pegboard. That's a bizarre product, isn't it? I should have put the links for that in the video description, but I didn't think about it until it was too late. So, anyway. Happy days. So massive shout out to everybody who has contributed and joined us for tonight's stream. Let's just have a look actually. We have some super chats in from Mick Woods, Rick H, the Bronc 9, Andy Archer, O'Reilly, Rasher, Paul Gray, Mark Gaines and Carl G. So thank you all so much. And thank all of you for sticking with us on this Saturday evening. Hopefully you've had some enjoyment or you've learned something. Maybe, or now you just want to go out and buy yourself loads of pegboards or Fritos. They sound quite good. I might like some of those also. So, I think that's going to wrap things up. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Take care, everybody.